Masquera Sayimre Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zoom Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana karikiptanka kuya paneno channel. Please don't forget to subscribe. Kana chungwa gara subscribe, but don't forget to comment and share this video. Masquera Zimbabwe takwigira ini Akaburitswa na Christopher Mutsvangwa achibuda achitaura pamusoro transition ye power within ZANU-PF fundofunga nyaya iri kunetsa kuti who is going to succeed President Mutsvangwa abuda achitaura Christopher Mutsvangwa achiti Zimbabweans should be calm and be confident since the transition in power it will be peaceful and hapana hondo ichaitika zvakare hapana coup ichaitika. Abuda zvakare achibvunzwa about his presidential ambitions. Christopher Mutsvangwa akataura iye achiti haana presidential ambitions aanawo. Buda zvakare achibvunzwa pamusoro pe successor. Abuda zvakare achibvunzwa pamusoro pe the military intervention, which means they are going to interfere, which means they are going to intervene and make sure the process is going to be safe. Zimbabwe abuda achiadresa the reason why akabuda MuCabinet Zimbabwe tikade kustango itotungonzwa ataura Christopher Mutsvangwa during an interview ne Alpha Media Zimbabwe. Buda achibvunzwa ne Alpha Media tokati mungonzwa interview mwamadzi zvamukufunga pamusoro penyaya iyi comment section.
ZANU-PF definite transition that would come after President Mnangagwa has more than twice said he will honor the constitution by stepping down in 2028. Can the people of Zimbabwe be guaranteed that when this transition when it comes, it's going to be peaceful?
The people of Zimbabwe can rest easy in total comfort that the transition in Zimbabwe will be smooth. Look at what we have done in the past. 1980, 79, 80, we confounded the world when, as a national liberation movement which was carrying arms, we laid them down, allowed elections. The first ever national liberation movement in modern history to allow democratic elections as a vehicle to assume office in a transition to independence is ZANU-PF. None has ever done that before in Cuba, in China, in Vietnam, in Algeria. None had ever done that. We did it. We confounded the world by giving them a smooth transition out of a situation of generalized warfare. So we've done it before. When 2017, we had a difficulty when the final days of the first republic tried to morph into a monarch, into a dynasty, into a family dynasty. We had difficulties. But because we were the sinews of a state born out of the national liberation movement, we carried out a transition which even the West was surprised. They had their own agendas about what would come into Zimbabwe.
We saw others fleeing the country using other irregular ports.
There was no death. In other countries, they would have been dead. We have been spared of the gravity of a war, a civil war, which America went through. This is an attestation of the capacity of the Zimbabweans to deal with situations. So ever since we developed our own army, which fought and won, we have a strong state, which the people of Zimbabwe want. If there's one of the most loved institutions in this country is the Zimbabwe Defense Forces. Why? Because it defends the interests of Zimbabwe people. So we do have a strong state, and a strong state is a guarantee of smooth transitions. Don't worry about it.
We know that at some points in history we have had disturbances where we failed to really transition peacefully.
I'll give you the most important
we know that post-1980 our independence was short-lived before the Gukurahundi started.
Right.
And in the run-up, I will run to the beginning of the new millennium in the 2000s.
Yes.
In 2002, when we had the presidential elections, you know the violence that was associated with that election. You know what happened in 2008. More than 300,000 opposition people died, and some were killed, maimed, and sort of things that happened. When we come to 2017, we saw others as well running the country. They haven't even returned to this date. So this is why I was asking, when this transition is coming, can the people of Zimbabwe be guaranteed that this is going to be peaceful?
Every country goes through bad patches. Development of human society is not linear. And you cannot be guaranteed that everything is going to be spick and span in every society, including America. Nobody holds America to that today, but you went through one. We have not gone through a civil war. There you had cameras in the American Congress 3 years ago when your elections ended in a bad manner. What was happening? The American army was intervening within the corridors of power of America. This, every country may have a misstep. These are the challenges of human cost of development. But to hold out Zimbabwe as if it is the only one which should be virtuous and spot free of all the challenges and vagaries that may go on in the course of human development, it's simply wrong. But what I can assure you is that in the history of modern Africa, Zimbabwe has delivered smooth transitions in the most challenging of political and military environments.
Do you aspire to be the president of this country?
No, I have. Look, if I aspired to be the president of this country, I would not have gone to war as a young man. Because to go to war means you may die. And many of my colleagues died. I survived because of the lottery of war. I just happened to have been lucky. I'm committed to see Zimbabwe do well. That's what I am there for. I know maybe the young people who don't know what we went through are the ones who have got a hunger for being presidents. And it's allowed because it's precisely why we fought, so that young people can aspire to be leaders of their country. But my nature does not cover that. You know, I was the brightest when I went to war in this country at the University of Rhodesia. I sacrificed.
Your party constitution allows you to do that. The Zimbabwe constitution also allows you to aspire to.
That does not come into my mind because I told you I've been dedicated to the good things which can Zimbabwe become, the prosperity which comes out of the sacrifice of the young people of Zimbabwe who fought the war. And that's why I concentrate much more on the things which I told about. I've been the prime mover of some of the biggest investment projects, bringing world-class billionaire companies into Zimbabwe. Why do we still have a world-class tobacco industry? I was responsible for that.
What kind of a president would you like to see post President Emerson Mnangagwa? What kind of a person?
One who does more of what President Emerson Mnangagwa has done. Because in the last 5 years, he has radically changed the outlook of the national economy by appreciating the importance of capital in the national development agenda of a country. That did not exist in the First Republic. That's why I left. That's why I couldn't last in the government of the First Republic, because of that. And it is also precisely why I may be out of government right now, because I sometimes feel that I can achieve more things when I'm outside of government, because I understand the capital markets of the world and how they can be applied to the resources of Zimbabwe, its human resource index, which is very high, as well as its natural resource, which is God-given, well endowed. If we can get capital to work on those two things, Zimbabwe's prosperity is assured. And that's what occupies my mind more than the quest for anything.
What are the traits and characteristics that you would not want to see in the next leader?
Anti-capital. If you can't appreciate the importance of capital in the development of a national economy, then you cannot deliver the prosperity which so many young people died for in the 60s and 70s. We need open for business in a vibrant and fair manner. More open for business, more Zimbabwe is a friend to all and enemy to none, more engagement and re-engagement with everybody in the world. We can't afford to be an enemy, of any particular country, because we want a congenial environment where we can get capital, produce world-class goods made in Zimbabwe for the global market, and therefore deliver prosperity to Zimbabwe and Africa. Those are the things which matter to me.
Lastly, do you believe maybe as ZANU-PF as a party you have people who are competent enough to meet the things that President Emmerson Mnangagwa has done, as you said?
No, let me remind you, if you can rise to the occasion of forming a modern army and challenging the foremost colonial imperial power of the time, Britain, Rhodesia and Cape, and winning, this is the most formidable challenge any country could be, any people could ever face. Zimbabwe rose to that challenge in the 1960s and 70s. Anything else means meat for Zimbabwe. We can do things which no other African country can do. Because if you can win a war against the foremost modern imperial power supported by the foremost superpower of the world, as the people of Zimbabwe, it means you've demonstrated your capabilities beyond any measure.
Should we expect a civilian or something with a military background?
All the Zimbabwean people have a military background. Remember, we fought a people's war. There is hardly any Zimbabwean family which didn't lose a family during the war. We were burying Mutsvangwa, our national hero, yesterday. We heard what the sister was saying, the one she was also in the war. The other brother was lost in the war. They don't even know where he got lost in that war. This is the history of Zimbabwe. So you cannot take the military aspect of the Zimbabwean body politic, because we formed an army which is our own. Other African countries, they inherited the armies. That's why they are where they are today. Ours, through limb lost, through eye plugged out, through a life lost, we created our own state apparatus. It's a formidable one, it's capable, it's patriotic, and it will make sure that Zimbabwe is always on the straight and narrow.